I'll start all the way at the beginning. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight at the GenLife Swedish webinar. This is going to be a product training, and I'm going to be telling you all about our nutritional innovation called Gen Health. As I told you before, I'm a biochemist, and I've spent many years in product development. And in the modern day nutritional product development, you're going to see that a lot of companies are available on the market. We all seen them in the supermarket, at the pharmacy, online. There are so many different products available today. But if you look carefully at them, you're going to see that every product is exactly the same. And I mean not that individual brands are the same, but I mean a product which is made for a specific health concern is always the same product for every person who is going to be buying that product. And from a scientific perspective, that is not the best thing you can do, because we are different. Everybody is different. Everybody has a different biochemical makeup. Everybody has a different character. Everybody has a different process in our body. So ideally, we are going to be matching what your body needs in terms of ingredients that a dietary supplement is going to provide you. And that's a great vision, and we are not alone like that. There are many university groups and many companies that are embarking today on the so-called personalized nutrition train. This personalized nutrition is going to be the nutrition of the future. We are going to see a lot more development in this field. We also see it in pharmaceutical development. Today in Scandinavia, there are companies available who can test which pharmaceuticals are going to be most effective for you. Our vision at GenLife is that we do that exactly for your health using nutrition. Everybody has a unique biochemical makeup. Everybody has a unique risk profile for modern day health concerns. The first question we had, of course, at GenLife is, how do we determine what your body needs? How can we find out what your biochemistry requires in terms of nutritional supplements? There are many options available if you think about that. First thing, you see companies asking you questionnaires about your lifestyle. You see companies offering blood tests or, for example, hair tests. But those tests determine where you currently are with your nutritional levels. And that does not say anything about your future risk development for health concerns. We believe at GenLife that the best source of that information is our DNA. Our DNA is our body's manual. It is a code that describes exactly how our body should work. The code is being read off every day by a process that we call transcription. Transcription is a biochemical process where the code of our DNA is read and translated into biochemical information. It determines exactly how we should function. And for more than 99% of us, our DNA is the same for everyone. But there's a little variation in less than 1% of the DNA code, and that variation between us determines the variations that we have in our biochemistry. And that variation can also tell us something about future modern degenerative health concerns. And that's exactly the information that we want to deliver to our customers at GenLife. That's what we want to know, because then we can provide you with a perfect product that matches your nutritional needs. Now, today, it is very well possible to read your DNA code very quickly and very economically. That wasn't the case 5 to 10 years ago. It was still very expensive. Today, there are many companies out there in the world who do nothing else the whole day than DNA sequencing or testing the code. The DNA code is made out of 4 letters, the DNA alphabet, you can say. And those are the letters C, T, G, and A. And those are the codes that describes your DNA. And that code is what we're after, because that one can tell us a lot about your future health concerns. Science projects all over the world are constantly finding out new information about which specific variation has a predictive value for later occurring health concerns in our life. And we all know we take dietary supplements because we believe in the preventative effects of them. A very common aspect of our life is, of course, aging. Aging is not a disease, but it happens to all of us. And during that aging process, we see so many health concerns popping up. And those health concerns have changed over the years. Let me start at a few hundred years ago. A few hundred years ago, our health concerns were completely different than they are today. First of all, we lived much shorter. We lived about 45 years on average in the Middle Ages. And our causes of death were typically quick and sudden. They didn't take very long. We got, for example, infections like tuberculosis, or serious diseases like the plague, or accidents. You know, those are things that happened to us 300-400 years ago. And nutrition, frankly, has no effect on these health concerns. Now, today, of course, we have a much better healthcare, and that has taken care of most of these health concerns that I've just mentioned from a few hundred years ago. Today, we live much longer. We live about more than 75 years on average in the Western world. That's great, but it also comes at a cost. Our concerns that we're facing, our health concerns that we're facing later in life, have also completely changed. Today, we call them degenerative. And degenerative means slowly developing, means being caused by slow damage to our body. And exactly because we live so much longer, we give our body time to develop those health concerns. These health concerns that we're facing today, you do not get them from one day to the next. It takes them 10, 20, 30 years to develop. And that is exactly the time frame that we have to use nutrition to prevent or delay those health concerns from happening. A couple of examples, you see them listed here, like CVD or cardiovascular disease, cancer, Alzheimer, osteoporosis, diabetes. These are all examples of degenerative current health concerns that we're facing. If you look at the statistics in Europe, this is data from the European Union, you see that the #1 reason for dying in Europe, it remains cardiovascular disease, a typical preventable disease. If you use nutrition in the right way, there's a lot of things you can do in order for you to prevent or delay the development of cardiovascular disease. Same thing for cancer, #2 reason for dying in Europe. And then there's a whole bunch of other health concerns that fall in the same category. Key is they are degenerative and they're slowly in development. And nutrition can play an important role in their prevention. Now, that's exactly what we decided to do at GenLife. Our vision was to first test you what you may be prone to get later in your life, and then develop a nutritional advice in the form of a product that may help you to prevent those diseases. First thing is we have sought for a partner that could develop with us a genetic test to test your DNA for those variations. And we wanted to put health concerns on the list following 2 criteria. Here you see the health concerns that we finally put on the list to be tested with the Gen test. There were 2 criteria. The first criteria is the health concern has to be relevant. And with relevant, I mean it has to be around us. We have to see it in our surroundings. We have to know people that have these concerns. Why? Because if we see it around us, it means we are worried about it ourselves. We want to take action against us developing the same health concern. The second criteria is that we wanted it to be having a link to nutritional prevention. We can test for many more health concerns, but if there's no answer in the form of a nutritional solution, then it doesn't make sense to test it in relation to Gen test and GenLife. Here's the list. Cardiovascular disease, of course, big on the list. Oxidative stress, a very important modern day diseases that we have to macular degeneration. These are the health concerns that we test you for. We partnered with an expert lab in Austria. We've looked all over the world to find this lab because there are a number of labs available, but we wanted to make sure it is highly qualified to perform this test. Our Gen lab, based in Austria, is ISO certified, and together with them, we have selected 52 gene variations that have a predictive value for the health concerns I just showed you. These gene variations have not been discovered by us. That is done by many universities around the world that work individually on individual health concerns. We use that information to collect them all in a list so that we can test for all these different health concerns. How does it work? Well, when you register at GenLife, you get the Gen test kit box sent to you by normal mail. After you receive it, you take your own DNA sample. This is very easy. It doesn't require any blood or anything. You just have a little stick, you swipe it through your mouth, you do it 3 times, and you send them back in the normal mail to our GenLab. Once it has arrived in Austria, it takes, depending on the quality of your sample, it takes 6 to 10 business days after the receipt of the sample before your results are ready. And then you will be receiving your GenTest result. First as a PDF in your email, and if you want to have it on paper, that's also possible. This book is a book about you. It's a book about your biochemistry. It is going to be telling a story about your health and what you can do to stay healthy as long as possible. I will take you through a couple of examples of information that you can see in a book. This book is from one of our customers, and you're going to be seeing, for all the health concerns that I've listed, which genes are exactly tested. The last column is your genotype, or your specific variation, and that is the basis for the risk prediction for your future health concerns. We also have a lot of more detailed information. Here you see an example of oxidative stress. I already told you that oxidative stress is very important because it is the underlying factor of many of those degenerative health concerns. Look at what kind of information we're able to provide you. First of all, the first scale from normal to increased is going to show you your susceptibility for oxidative stress. In other words, how sensitive you are towards oxidative stress. If you have an increased level, like this person, that means you're going to have to be receiving an increased level of antioxidants. But that's not all. We also can tell you which antioxidants are going to be particularly beneficial for you. You may know that there are many kinds of antioxidants available, mostly from fruits and vegetables. Coenzyme Q10 is a very popular one today, but coenzyme Q10 is not effective for everybody because it has to be converted from an inactive CoQ10 form to the active ubiquinol form in your body. And not everybody can do that, and that is determined by your DNA code. Our test shows if you are able to utilize coenzyme Q10, or if you should be better using other forms of antioxidants. That's very powerful information because it means it is going to maximize the effect of the antioxidants that you take. The left bottom corner, you also see a scale of selenium need. Selenium is a mineral, one of the examples of minerals that have a benefit by collaborating with enzymatic antioxidant systems. And if your DNA is going to prevent you from efficient absorption of selenium, like in this case person, there is a higher required need of selenium in order to provide the antioxidative protection that this person needs. You see, this is information that makes a product that you may be taking already today much more valuable if you know what exactly your body needs. The book then further describes for all the health concerns which ingredients are going to be beneficial for you, and also in exactly what quantities. Now, we've selected based on the enormous database of literature, which has been developed by all kinds of universities around the world, that have linked nutritional dietary ingredients to risk prevention for modern day health concerns. We've selected those ingredients. That is based on their solid scientific proof. But now, because of the DNA test, we can tell you exactly how much of them you need, because you don't want too little. If you have too little of those ingredients, you're not going to be optimally protected. But if you have too much, you're also not in a good situation, because then your body has to excrete, has to deport those extra ingredients out of your body. So it's much better to take exactly what your body needs. And that is what we are able to do with the GenTest. Here you see for Alzheimer's disease, the list of ingredients and a green arrow, which indicates that you need more of a specific ingredient, and a downward red arrow, which indicates you need less of a specific ingredient, all according to your individual needs. The size of the arrow is going to explain to you how much you need more or less of the individual ingredient. We are then able to tabulize all these results. On the left, you see a number of the ingredients. We have a full list, a few pages in the book. And on top, you see all the health concerns that we have tested. And that allows us to deliver to you a recommended, uniquely personalized list of ingredients that matches your biochemistry perfectly. Now, here are the ingredients that we have included into the product Gen Health. First of all, we have the omega-3 fatty acids, DHA and EPA. We have all the vitamins that your body needs. We have all the minerals that your body needs. And we also have some specific ingredients like, for example, alpha-lipoic acid, methylsulfonylmethane, coenzyme Q10 I already talked about. And we also decided to include 5 superfruit antioxidant mixtures. Acai berry, mangosteen, noni fruit, cranberry, and blueberry. And we did that because we believe that these superfruits have a synergistic mix of antioxidants that work together to give you a much better protection against those degenerative health concerns. Now, once you have done your test, you will be presented with an optimal nutritional product. A product that is not a simple product like everybody else takes, which contains the RDA, or recommended daily allowance, but a list of levels that matches your biochemistry. And what you could do is take this list and go to the health food store and spend hours there to find exactly what you need. But that's going to be very time consuming and very costly. We wanted to do better, and we have done better. We were able to produce a product that matches your risk profile uniquely. I believe in natural sources of these ingredients for a very important reason. Natural ingredients are typically a mix of different phytonutrients, and they have a unique aspect in their working mechanism. They work together. They provide synergy. Synergy means that, simply said, 1 + 1 is 5 instead of 1 + 1 is 2. Synergy is the power behind natural ingredients. They also have an additional benefit. They usually have a much lower side effect profile than synthetic pharmaceutical ingredients. Our product, Gen Health, is based on 2 years development. We found, again, a partner that was best in class when it comes to product development of dietary supplements. And here's how it looks. It is a 1-month box that you see over here. I'll show you now my box in my hand. This is my product, so that you can see I also have it on my table here, of course. It's going to have your name on front because it's a unique product. It is only for you. You should not be taking a product from someone else because that will not match your biochemistry optimally. It also probably doesn't look as you would expect from a dietary supplement, because usually dietary supplement looks like pills or capsules. And we've done that for a very specific reason. First of all, it was the way for us to use these little balls, as you can see in the packets inside the box, to make your product uniquely personalized. But it has another additional benefit. It truly maximizes the bioavailability. And that's because we have used so-called microtransporters. Microtransporters are little cellulose balls that you can see inside the packet, and they have inside the ingredients that the product contains. And the uniqueness about these balls is that they all have an individual release time of the ingredients. And that is unique, and it is very beneficial for the bioavailability. Here you can see why. Scientists know in the nutritional industry that if you take all ingredients at the same time in a capsule, they're going to be released at the same time in your gastrointestinal tract, in your stomach or in your small or big intestine. And that is not the best you can do, because that is going to result in competitive absorption. Some ingredients, if your body is busy absorbing one ingredient, it cannot be absorbing another ingredient. And if you release them all at the same time, you are going to induce those effects, limiting your bioavailability. Our microtransporters make sure that ingredients that would have a competitive absorption are separated in our absorption tract. So some ingredients are released in the beginning when you swallow the product, and some are released halfway, and some are released later during the day at a lower part of your GI tract. And that means it will be released at the place and time where the absorption can be maximum. Sometimes we put ingredients in the same bowl, like calcium and vitamin D on the upper left corner. And that's because they promote each other's absorption. Zinc and magnesium, for example, you don't want to have them at the same time in the same place, because then you're going to be limiting their absorption. That's the unique thing what microtransporters can do. Here's an example for vitamin C. If you take vitamin C in a pill or a capsule, you're going to have a very fast absorption, but as a result, also a very fast reduction of the vitamin C concentration in your blood. The microtransporters have a so-called slow release time. And that means that vitamin C is absorbed throughout the day over a much longer period. Now, for each individual ingredient in GenHealth, we are able to create such an optimal range of release time and absorption time. And that means you take the product only once a day, typically in the morning, with water, or for example, you mix it with yogurt, and during the whole day, your body is going to be supplied at different times in the day with different ingredients, all matching the best location for absorption, the best time for absorption, preventing competitive effects between the different ingredients. We know that because it has been tested in GI tract models that really clearly can show where the ingredients are going to be released and at what time after ingestion of the product. That is a unique feature. There are products available on the market that have it for one ingredient, like time-released vitamin C, which I just showed you an example of, but not like GenHealth does for all the individual ingredients at their own specific optimal time. That is what GenHealth is. GenHealth is, as far as we know, the first truly personalized nutrition prevention product that we have on the market. We are about prevention. We're not about treatment. But let me tell you, prevention is so much more effective than treatment. I always explain it using this graph, which is what I call the power of prevention graph. On the bottom, you see your age, and on the top, the left-hand top, you see your life quality. A typical life looks like this. It means it starts with a beginning rising life quality, which goes very quick to reach a maximum, roughly for most people at 25 years of age. And then it starts to decline slowly, your life quality. Some processes are not as functioning as optimal anymore. In the beginning, you don't notice that, of course. You still live your life happily as you did before. But you can see in your body and measure in your body that some processes are not going to be being performed as well as they were performed at your top life quality level. Then at the end of your life quality goes suddenly down rather rapidly and increases in speed. And that's typically the time when you start thinking about treatment. That is when you really feel a health concern going on. So what you do, you go to a doctor, the doctor gives you a diagnosis and gives you typically a drug treatment. Now, drug treatments have an effect, and that means you're going to have an extension to your life quality curve. But as you can see, compared to your whole life, this extension is rather small, simply because you wait so long with starting. You only start when the disease has actually been diagnosed. Now, that is exactly what we not do with GenHealth. Our vision is that everybody gets tested of what may happen in the future using GenTest, and then starts today thinking about prevention of that health concern later in life. So we start with GenHealth at this point in our life, when we still can do a lot about it. And GenHealth has an immediate effect on your life quality and has a much long-lasting effect on your life quality, simply because of the fact you start so much earlier in your life. That is the key to prevention. That is the key of GenHealth. We don't wait until we have a diagnosis. We start preventing that diagnosis today. That is what nutrition is about. And now we are able to do it exactly matching what your body needs. It is a fantastic innovation, and both Mario and myself are very proud that we have been able to deliver this product to the market today. Thank you very much for your interest in this product webinar.